Игрывают, и вряд ли они проиграют 0-2. Игрывают, и вряд ли они проиграют 0-2. Игрывают, и вряд ли они проиграют 0-2. Игрывают, и вряд ли они проиграют 0-2.
Фруктовый фан.
Вместе
Или
с
посмотреть
йогуртом
сериал прям сейчас.
Фрутис? А где смотреть? Подожди, где смотреть сериал?
На Мегаго под фруктовый фан от Фрутис. При этом еще и Брейс.
Брейс параллельно. Да. Брейс, внешний ВМН Ультра. Расперемешивая ее с йогуртом. Сразу же.
Yeah. Lanes here for game 2 in this best of 3. Winstrike leading 1-0 after a 20-minute stomping. Ducalis was saying he's going to crush his enemies, and he definitely did. That game 1 is the Enchantress, and Elder Titan for DG Phogos is up towards top. It's the position 3 ET with Yamich on the 4. Tusk, Chen, Ducalis going to be lurking around there with the TA mid for Rebel, and down bottom, Aggressive Child on the Faceless Void, all alone for now. Up against Funny Sand King, Lil on the Lina, yet again one of his favorite heroes of late. No Fear, position 5 Beastmaster, which we've not touched on. We'll come back to that in a second. Xani on the Night Stalker, and Sven for Nyx up top.
Yeah, why did you ask me Night Stalker mid? What do you think? Instead of asking me, man, what's going on with the Beastmaster position 5?
Well, there's so much happening in the draft.
I don't know. Like, how do you get levels with this hero? You can try to harass people with the Boar. There's a Hawk that's always going to be useful. You have a roaming vision. But other than that, I mean, there's a reason why top tier teams are not playing this hero as position 5.
No, it's definitely an interesting one. We'll see where No Fear heads, because currently he's wandering around, probably heading up towards top. He'll have his boars out. Might be able to defend the Sven up against that ET and Tusk. So TA up against Night Stalker mid. Usually melee heroes struggle up against the Sideblade splashes. Night Stalker is reasonably tanky, 5 armor. He's got some pretty good HP, but I think it's going to be a rough lane for him.
And once again, we have a level 25 Templar Assassin, like we had level 25 Storm Spirit in the previous game. That means that guy is the hero specialist, or as I call it, a spammer.
And they found him in pubs, Storm and TA.
And that's where you find good players. Nice Tucker off to a good start, 3 denies already.
4. What's his base damage? 68? It's identical to the TA, as they both have fairy fires as well. Of course, TA relying on that ranged projectile makes things a little bit more difficult. But yeah, finding players in pub games, you know, it kind of all started with Admiral Bulldog, right? Popping up out of nowhere, the hero specialist himself on that Lone Druid and Prophet. And we're seeing a little bit more of that as teams are swapping around and finding the new blood. Always nice to see, especially, you know, especially the kind of finesse roles, the mid laners, the carry players. Have new ideas of the game. Up towards top, a bit of a battle there. No Fear losing out as tag team plus the Astral Spirit making his life a living hell. He defends one of his boars. I'm not sure for how long. And Sven does keep that farm rate up under his tier 1, and a pretty good start for the Dire team, all things considered. Sven, Sand King, and the Night Stalker all falling very nicely early on.
Position 5 Beastmaster, like, he doesn't necessarily need to harass people that much. He's just taking away harassment that should happen on Sven. So far so good. 11-4 on Sven. How's mid lane doing? 8-6-69 on Night Stalker, man. He's popping off.
Yeah, it's a great start. Quelling Blade there for him helping out. Trying to get into that bottle, halfway towards it. I guess bottom lane. Oh, we'll look up towards top, actually. No Fear. He's close to death, trying to TP back to his tier 1. Fairy fires and survives. I was going to say, I feel like bottom lane might be the one where we see first blood happen. With all those stuns from the Dire side, Hellraisers with Lil and Funnick, Sand King Lina not able to get the aggression that maybe they would desire. And, you know, they're up against a Chen, who I feel is kind of an easy target to go on.
Chen is a tanky boy. I don't think they have enough to just to bring him down. They need levels, at least one more point in Sandstorm, another point in LSA.
So biding their time and waiting for it. Dealing with the pull across. Funnick should be able to gather up a lot of farm there. Chen just keeping that Faceless Void topped up. There's a ring of regen on the Void. They've got Headrest plus, of course, Divine Favor, increasing all of the heals.
Also, he's going to be farming underneath the tower, so extra armor, extra regeneration will kick in. This bottom lane is all about securing Faceless Void's farm. You're not going to play aggressive, especially if Chen has a kill troll as a neutral creep.
Looks like top lane, the Hawk able to give vision as Tusk was lurking in the trees. Now he's kind of thinking, okay, there's no jump. He's here, I'm just going to pull across. Good little block coming in from No Fear to make sure that with the boar he stops any stacks from happening at the same time. So Nitz can actually shift down here and contest that pull.
ET has a ton of damage, almost 200. If Tusk gets on top of someone with Orb of Venom and Slow from tag team, you know, there's a lot of kill potential on top.
Ready for a fight.
Something that I don't like seeing right now is ET with the Meteor Hammer queued up.
You're not a fan?
I mean, you can still do some fun stuff with Echo Stomp, then land a Meteor Hammer on top of his head, but this hero scales as a core, and he might consider getting something like a Hood, or he might get like Drums and Aghanims, and then you have a free BKB.
Great little move there, bottom from Winstrike. The Sentry allows him to dish a lot of damage towards Funnick. Bottle, and he'll be able to refill it with the bounty runes coming up, so not a massive loss there for Hellraisers. It still keeps that Void safely farming. As you said, it's all about securing Aggressive Child, a good early start in the laning stage. But back to the Meteor Hammer, I'm also wondering, up against so many stuns, are you ever going to be able to channel Meteor Hammer?
That's my concern as well.
Definitely going to be a rough time for him. A very quiet early game, 5.5 minutes, Lacoste. CIS Dota with no first blood.
A bit disappointed. I know chat is not loving it, but we might still see something happening very soon on the top lane. ET getting closer to level 5. Beastmaster, like, he can't get close. He has 1 CS. Sven still farming okay-ish, but Elder Titan slowly taking control of this one.
Sure is, getting a lot of farm up there. So with Night Stalker, we've seen him a lot over the past, since Dota 2 came out, from multiple roles, POS 4, POS 2, he's been off-lane hero, a carry when the Aghanim Scepter came out, now back into the mid lane. How important is this first night for him?
As a mid laner, like, if you get a good rune, something like Arcane, so you can pop your ulti, or a haste, I think you gank, but you do not want to leave the lane because it's very easy to spot that you're doing something. And the only kind of rotation that you want to make is with a TP. They're diving the tower, you TP, get a kill or 2 in return, and come back to your lane and farm.
And it can surprise you, if you've not played against this hero in a while, how speedy he is, how much attack speed he's got during this nighttime. As top lane, Yamich, a bit of a dive onto tier 1. No Fear there yet again, just bodyguarding Sven, making sure that Nyx isn't in any immediate danger. And Lil is also moving in towards mid to ward up and scout the TA for when she does eventually, inevitably, leave that mid lane to farm jungle. In game 1, Winstrike dealt with the TA very nicely with these 4-man rotations. Sometimes you think maybe that the opponents, would learn from that and do the same thing, but Hellraiser's not going for those early ganks.
Winstrike should know something is up. Lina is farming mid. That means Night Stalker is ganking. So they are falling back to their tower. Lanes are pushing in also nicely. The natural movement. I don't think this is a good time for Night Stalker to try to make something happen.
Yeah, very obvious maneuver. TA is able to get back into a couple of nice stacks. Night Stalker scouts her out, but without any backup, no teammates to help him. And Yamich, with the potential shards, not really a move that Kasani can play into. And this all buys so much more time for Aggressive Child, starting to climb his way back up that net worth board.
I can't wait for this game to end so I can play position 5 Beastmaster. Just kidding. And I don't think No Fear is having fun. The only thing he can do is harass with the board, try to scout things out, get a pull. This is my issue with what they are trying to do with the hero is you're not getting levels.
Someone better help Dyer's middle tower.
And we just saw a little battle there between Night Stalker and TA. Just a trap and a few hits. Night Stalker had to run very quickly away, but they do move in towards mid, bottling the Arcane Rune on Sand King, gathering 3 heroes around TA.
The Night Stalker goes to actually pick up Arcane Rune, and Sand King gets it. A little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah, both of them have bottles. Both need to refill. Seems like Funnick, the priority in his mind anyway. There really isn't any pressure on this Templar Assassin, now farming through Ancients, as they've stacked up so much of this triangle for her to accelerate 4,000 net worth, as she races towards Desolator so quickly.
Because there was no pressure on TA. Like, there's a Night Stalker on the mid lane who doesn't do anything until the Night comes online. And this is also level 5 Beastmaster, so you also don't care too much about it.
Well, the shards look pretty damn good. Kisani does fly over the top. The snowball's there, closing the gap. The Fairy Fire keeps him alive. The one more hit. Where's it coming from? DK Focus is speedy, chasing the Night Stalker, but won't be able to catch him. So Lil is the target they go for instead. DK Focus, not enough mana to cast the Stomp, and Funnick's arrived with an Arcane Rune and a Sandstorm to clear out that mid wave. But Night Stalker, every move he's made so far has been a failure.
Radiant's top tower.
Because it's very easy to predict when he's making a move. It's a Night Stalker mid. If he doesn't get the haste rune, so he can come to the lane faster. Also, the first rotation lane was already pushing in, so DK Focus was very fine on top, just farming underneath the tower.
I really feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone or something. Something's wrong about this game when 10 minutes in, after game 1 especially, where it was like 25-8 at 20 minutes, we had no first blood, no kills, not even a kill threat really here. 0-0.
And you would think we would have
this
a
League
lot
of
of
Legends,
kills.
Lacoste? Have we changed game?
I hope not, and I hope we never change to it. Also, there's every single hero has a stun on the Dire team, so you would expect them to play a bit more aggressively.
Well, they do have Lagoon Blade now.
Are those
I
cracks
mean, Pacify
in
doesn't
Dyer's
care
top
too
tower?
much how this game develops with 0 kills, no one's making any rotations, so he says, like, I'm just gonna get my hand of Midas at levels. I have such great talents, level 10, I'm gonna be more tanky. Also, in this type of a game where you're playing against all of these stuns, I think having status resistance, getting something like a Cabin's Halberd is gonna be such a high value.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you never really want to rush BKB, especially on a Faceless Blade. So just having that extra tankiness would be a great choice for him. Midas coming out for Aggressive Child. He's having a pretty cracking game. And now we're into daytime for another 4 minutes or so. Night Stalker, 20 seconds for Dark Ascension. A shift, Sven, Lina down into the Sand lane. First strike into Stormhammer. Light Strike, Array to kick things off, and first blood, finally. Lil gets in there with that Laguna Blade. And Faceless Void. Did he get to use his Midas?
Nope.
No, it's still on the courier.
Passive
much good's
child,
happened to Radiant's
not using
bottom
Hand of
tower.
Midas.
Radiant structures have been
I mean, the game's still very good for Winstrike. I think they're fine with how this game is developing. EP is farming nicely. Same goes for Templar Assassin. Chen is getting leveled. Like, he's gonna be level 6 pretty soon with the
Radiant's
mech.
bottom tower
Like, if
is
he
not
was level 6
popular.
there, they don't get the kill on Faceless Void.
They're beating on Dyer's
I like
top
this from
tower.
Yamich. Sitting to the right side of the lane to defend the TA, and then coming in to play onto the Night Stalker. They don't get the rune. Kasani's the one to grab it up and take the illusions. But just the positioning here from Chen and the Tusk, they are bodyguarding this Rebel TA as best they can, knowing that if she can accelerate from Deso into Blink and then get a BKB, very little from Hellraisers can stop her. And they've already taken tier 1 top, they're going for tier 1 mid. There's the Chrono. Chrono finally into Aggressive Child. Easy pickings as Funnick is blown up, the batches land, and Lil is done for. First blood was spilled by Hellraisers, but the momentum, like you're saying, is still very firmly in the hands of Winstrike.
Just went down.
This is rotation from level 9 Faceless Void without Boots of Speed, landing a Chronosphere, and but I like what he's doing, like maxing out Time Walk. He understands that I don't need to deal any kind of damage right now. I just need to survive. They're actually doing Roche. That's so on TA already done.
It is, yeah, and Chen's able to tank it up nicely with a couple of centaurs. Scout the boar as it comes in towards the pit. Roshan, half HP. No contest here from Hellraisers. Sven's down bottom trying to farm up against the Void.
It's daytime. Night Stalker does not have ulti. I don't think they're ready to fight. Like with this type of lineup, you want to rely on Sank and getting a faster Blink Dagger so you can start the fights. Also Beastmaster, position 5, like still yet to use that roar. There's smoke. This is a good fight for Winstrike.
Oh, it is. They've caught them sandwiched the Lina in between their jungle and those mid towers, finding her as she was aggressively moving in with the Beastmaster, throwing Laguna Blade towards Yamage, but he tips her straight back.
That's a Rage Laguna right there. Like, I want to do something, you know?
Come on, team, let's go. Let's find something. But all of the vision from Hellraisers is reasonably defensive. Up on the high ground towards their side of the river, there's nothing that they can see in that Radiant jungle. Whereas on the flip side, Winstrike do have that one Radiant Obs watching up in the northern jungle, while the rest of the heroes kind of sitting down south, again, safeguarding a core. They're keeping that Void.
Okay, Gary, how many times is ET gonna use a Meteor Hammer on a hero?
Damn. Why did you have to add on a hero? Because I was so ready to say he's going to use it like 20 times on towers. All he's going to do is use Meteor Hammer on towers. I think 2.
2?
But only because of Chrono. Wait.
Dire's bottom tower is under
I think you're just
attack.
being too generous. I'm gonna say once.
Is the question how many heroes is he going to hit, or how many times is he going to use it?
How many times is he gonna use it on a hero?
I think 2. Raw defensively. All Epicenters coming in with a blink. No, it's cancelled. So Funnick has to focus onto the ET instead. The snowball looks good to stop this fight. But that ball and Chrono. Aggressive charge there with Rebel from the outside trying to spill with a sideways. The board proving to work against Hellraisers. And Nyx is in trouble for the Laguna Blade. Helps clear out the Void, and now the TA's all alone. A beautiful fight from Hellraisers, which started off incredibly mentally, so they're going to take not only one but both lives. The TA here, it appears. Reveal not available, but the stuns are more than worth it. 5 heroes and 6 deaths as Winstrike get completely cleared up.
Climbing uphill, killing Chen before he could get the ult off. I mean, this is what lineup is good again. You know, good at. They want to keep fighting. They have a lot of stuns, and they should just keep repeating. During the nighttime still up there for 4 minutes. I think for Winstrike, they just farm their BKBs, at least one on TA, and this is what I see have the correct choice. Is going to give him tankiness, status resistance that I mentioned against all of those stuns, and it was a sick, 4-man chrono, but there was no real follow-up since ET already died, and ET doesn't even have a point in Earth Splitter, which I really dislike. I mean, you're with the faces in a team.
And at the start of that fight, we saw from the replay there, that killing fear, the AoE silence from Kasani really working wonders to make sure, like you mentioned, that Shin doesn't get any more spells off. They managed to kind of trick back on the Tusk as Funnick goes aggressive. Good. Here in onto Ducalis, able to sprint across the map and find yet another kill.
Okay, so Night Stalker's gonna get good timing on that Magnum Center. AoE,
Tower shouldn't have to take
Templar
this
Assassin
abuse.
not going for BKB after Blink Dagger. I see Hurricane Pike queued up. This could actually backfire. Like, you definitely need BKB against all of these.
Radiant have fortified
One
their
BKB piercing
structures.
ability with Beastmaster, but still you need to take it to yourself. You're not being able to remove the Blink Fear with any other item that you're gonna buy.
Epicenter with the blink forward, they actually catch the ED. They strike ranges, they can stun him up, and the Hand of God in a couple of seconds of life. But Elder Titan was fitted by the team. Void and TA both out on opposite sides of the map, farming, pushing. Winstrike handing over a little treat to Hellraisers. And this is all around that first Roshan. That Aegis was in the hands of Winstrike, but they've the fights in a row. very minor net worth lead, though, for Hellraisers. It's about 2,500. Down now to 2K. About a 4.5K swing. This is a morale-boosting smoke. Chronosphere is ready again for Void. Lina looking around that box rune. It's a head for her grab as they want to get no fear. Easy pick off on Beastmaster. Yeah, Lil, I'm not sure where you're heading. Yes, but you can still get caught.
About the items, I said I don't like this EP with the meteor hammer. That's half of your gold towards like tanky item that's gonna be Aghanim Scepter, and it's a KB for you. Like
against all these stuns, that seems incredibly valuable. And nice little vampires there from TA. Still with the pipe queued up. What's Chen up to? He wants to finish boots. Has already done, as we've seen. A couple of option sentries that like to get out on the map and that vision going. As Hellraisers, they've got a pretty good idea of an observer board on that high ground. We'll blink up, kill it, stomp down. They smoke. All gathered up together. Again, Winstrike at the TA, they've got heroes spread wide map. Hell's playing pretty tight, and Funnick looking to make the jump onto the void. They've got the silence. Double safe. Oh yeah, keep Aces Void alive, and 8 banging up the sprint, turning Crossbow. Center's coming with it as well, but Aces Void and the red will clear up the back lines. No Fear and Lilla down, and Night Stalker, he's just got to sprint away. They kill off a little chicken in the middle of it all as Sven destroys supports, really the biggest losers in this fight. While Hellraisers giving chase onto Aggressive Child. Sunny with fun up there, actually getting the ground down. Stuns for days and a double for Nyx.
Hellraisers are executing their team fights nicely. Like you have Night Stalker rocking in, providing vision for the team. We silence now even AOD Void and Funnick.
Radiant's middle
Earlier
tower
blink
should not
that
take
allows
this
him to
abuse.
land
Dire's bottom tower
good
needs some
epicenters
help.
or just focus whatever is needed. Oh, Sven, he's getting caught.
He came for bounty runes, but be paying a price. Luckily for him, it's for 2 supports. Templar Assassin does come in though. Trapped to slow him down, and he could try TP, but he's been stunned, controlled up for a long time. The snowball to get away from Stormhammer, and no fear cannot keep Mega Kill Streak Sven alive, and getting a lot of ult there, puts him 2/3 of the way towards Blake.
Sven is super tanky, and I love the build that he's going for. Like, 10 fast AC. Those 18-minute AC, that's 5 armor for his teammates on 15 armor coming out from Borkrai. Good positioning for Sonic.
What's he doing? Just he's chilling. Where's the rest of the team? Lina and Nighthawk at bottom. Doesn't feel they've got enough to take down Aggressive Child's Void. Who has the help to complete, and BKB queued. TA still gonna get Pike. Dragonlance being delivered now as they clear up that top tier 2. Massive here with all the Chen summons. Raiden Jungle belongs to them as Roshan will respawn in 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
In Dire's top tower? Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sven respawning.
Maybe they're just allergic to buying a BKB. I don't know what's happening. Like, this is not the game to buy a BKB on your TA. I don't know which game is.
Yeah, definitely making a conscious decision here to not go for it. I guess Pike allows you to hit into Chrono much easier. But
sure, you can go back to that. I don't mind, but you definitely need BKB. 1 epicenter on top of your head, you're dead. All the refraction charges are gone. There's no way for people to save you unless us get the Blink Dagger, and I think he has a Blink Dagger right now. But
he does.
Still, you're playing into AoE silence coming up from Night Stalker, so it might be a bit harder to execute.
Yeah, that is the tough part. As Night Stalker has his Ags, Halberd coming up next, holding high ground as Hellraisers deep in their own jungle waiting for this movement. Aggressive Child goes in, time dilation, but roared now. jump from the Tusk, tries to get the catch, but the Faceless Void, he's been blown up and chased under, or has he? He's able to get away with Snowball saving and had him go off the Earth, but it's huge, and they've caught him. Aggressive Charles does die, but Nyx is falling low. Rebel clearing up 1 and 2, and now the Night Stalker's in trouble. But Funnick, epicenter into Burrow, the TA does get picked off. Hellraisers with a buyback on the Sand King, able to turn this fight around.
Yeah, once again, Funnick has some great initiation coming up from it. That's why I think you need BKBs on your cores. And the Templar Assassin finally realizes, man, I should have gone for BKB instead of going for that Dragonlance. It was a 6 save from Tusk, but not enough for Faceless Void to get out. Also, he blinked in super aggressively.
Yeah, he went chasing after heroes, and we didn't see a Chrono in that fight either. And yet we silence from Night Stalker, all the chain stuns. Faceless Void having some struggles pre-BKB. And that was another move which Winstrike tried to make up into a high ground area with limited vision.
Got it.
Hellraisers set the trap and were ready and waiting for them. And this position 5 Beastmaster, he's farming pretty well, Lacoste. He's got Vlad.
Silent, Gary.
He's got a buff.
I mean, sure. I mean, he's just providing aura for his team, more attack speed, also extra attack speed coming on from AC. Next Roche will respawn in a second, so Trap will scout it out. There's still no BKBs on anyone on Winstrike. Templar Assassin getting very close. She's being recalled, but that's still not a BKB. 150 gold off.
So close. The timing's not quite synchronizing for Winstrike. Aggressive Child, he really wants to use his Chrono for something big. Now he's gonna pop it on Kasani. Night Stalker, the target of choice with the Earth Splitter there. Rebel with Yamich straight onto Kasani, but the 3-man burst strike not able to save him. The roar there from No Fear as Low clears up the Carlos in the back, and they're trying to focus down the Sand King. TA makes short work of him, while Nyx Sven with the leader chasing the TA. The leader hammer lands somewhere, but it's the big kills up at the front. Nyx with some massive cleaves, but he's stomped up now and they've got to retreat. Winstrike have lost the TA and the Chen. And a buyback from the Beastmaster means that Hellraisers once again reclaiming control around that outpost, and the Dire Jungle continues to belong to them.
It's a very weird decision making from Winstrike. They decide to take the fight. Templar Assassin was 100 gold off BKB. Your Elder Titan needed 400 gold to finish his Aghanim Scepter, and they can't kill Sven, so they need to kill the rest. Like, try to take out Lina, Beastmaster, pre-Roar, or isolate Night Stalker. I think they're going for the right targets. It's just that they need to wait, but they needed to wait like 30 seconds for them to farm items. Now Sven is gonna have that full Aghanim Scepter with the Dispel talent level 15, so you can't really itemize other than Blink Dagger. You're just gonna get Dispel. The Glimmer Cape, the Force Staffs, you name it. Everything is just gonna get Dispel.
Tower has looked better.
Shen, Mech Medallion with a Holy Locket queued up. Like in the sudden Holy Locket pickups here with Enchantress from G, grab it. Now got a Chen for Ducalis.
Invisibility.
And how long do we have to wait for Chronosphere? A full minute.
He's showing bottom with no mana. This is a good sign for Hellraisers. Like, he needs to pop a magic wand to use a DP scroll, and Chen can recall him.
There's a smoke immediately. You say it's a good sign here for HR to go and play aggressively, but very, very swift defensive maneuver there from Winstrike. Everyone back behind tier 2s. Defensively postured, which opens up Roshan. HR into the pit. Might be a little obvious though, as the ET Spirit does wander in there. Catches a glimpse of the Sand King, the Sandstorm, and they've got to know that Roshan has begun. But Faceless Void is a million miles away in without Chrono.
He popped 2 mangoes, brought a clarity. He was showing for way too long on a bot lane without mana. So Hellraisers use that info. That's going to be Cheese and Aegis. Sven will pick up the Aegis. Cheese on the Night Stalker, level 18. With a Cheese, 3000 HP, mischance, and a Disarm. Like, this Night Stalker, they're going to have issues trying to kill him. They need full combo from Faceless Void and ET to actually kill him.
See if they can get it working for themselves, as that second of the game gives Hellraisers a second win. 13 to 19. It's been pretty close so far, but the net worth lead in the hands of the dire side. I think Lina probably one of the primary reasons for this. 9,000 net worth on your position 4 with 4 staff, Yules, and Ghost Scepter. So she's going to be able to keep spamming out all of her spells, rolling people up with the Light Striker raise, and is becoming another core hero for HR.
Yeah, once she gets that Aghanim Scepter, pure damage against TA, against Faceless Soul, that goes through Magic Immunity, that's going to help them quite a lot.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Void back into Maelstrom. Where's his BKB, Lacoste?
Good question. I mean, he's building Maelstrom because of all the armor that they have. Night Stalker's super tanky, sitting at 22 armor. If they pop a Warcry, like, you need to find a way around it, so you just get the magical damage.
Top tower. Not much.
That's some pretty good reasoning.
Radiant's bottom tower.
It's a good reasoning. Yes, but you still need a BKB.
Well, Rebel has to
middle
use
tower is
that
under
first
attack.
BKB charge to escape from a Yules into Burrow Strike. No Beastmaster nearby, so a quick TP out. As the entire map feels like it now belongs to Hellraisers. Board is all that Winstrike has out on the map, and I'm pretty sure HR pinged it out earlier on, and they know where it is. Gathering down into Radiant Jungle. EA showing down bottom for a second. But Void, ET, and Chen all retreating back towards the base. Are they going to jump Ducalis here? Onyx was definitely thinking about it.
Has that dual scepter, so even if he gets a good initiation, still has one item to take care of himself.
Quickening charm coming out to him. Even more stuns from your Sand King. Tusk doing a good job though, shoving out that top lane as Sven does have to come and clear out the way to cut it. And try and equalize these lanes. A lot of scribbling on that map. Dire team do like to play from this Radiant Triangle to kind of pincer in towards mid and top tier 2s. So Radiant really only one place to play, and that is bottom lane, so a lot of congestion in that Radiant jungle down there. That means TA, her acceleration just halts completely now.
Night Stalker with the Blink Dagger, so he can cut into back lines, try to find Tusk. I think this is the target that he wants to take out because he's providing save, keeping piercing ability. No, you don't even have to find him in the back lines if he's in your jungle.
Yep, he was looking for bounty runes. He was being toyed with there a little bit. The double Yules, Lina and Sand King, both sending him skywards with the Cyclones. Dead for 30 seconds. Doesn't feel like a drastic loss. Still the ability here for Winstrike to move out onto the map a little bit, clear out some waves, get back towards that Void BKB, which he has re-queued after having Mjolnir in the slot for a little while.
Radiant's middle tower could use some
Without
help.
a perfect chrono, and without that combo with the ET you were talking about, it feels that with all these tanky strength heroes, with all the stuns that they've got, Hellraiser is much easier to execute the team fights. As soon as they see a target, they jump them and they kill them, and they might be able to find Aggressive Child.
Oh, he
Tried
took
to
the
recall
damage,
him,
so
but yeah.
still TP on cooldown. Like, this is a dead Void.
He's being chased by Night Stalker. In comes the bad man. Slows him down, starts him up, and Aggressive Child way too far away from his base. Laguna Blade for good measure, and Lil with Kasani. Clear the Void.
Nothing he can do about it. They try to make a defensive play with the Chen, still not enough. Now Phonic is in, finding a good target. That's Chen, take him out of the equation.
The Yules to buy time for the Sven. 2 kills in quick succession. As Hellraisers stamping their mark on this game, as Aegis does get reclaimed. Still holding onto the cheese on Night Stalker though. And it feels so smooth, much crisper execution here from HR, which they struggled with in game 1.
I think Winstrike missed their timings with the BKB. They chose the wrong fights, and now they're in such a tough spot where Hellraisers are just controlling the jungle with the Beastmaster's Hawk, Night Stalker providing vision. With the Fresh to Bot Blink Dagger, he can set things up more easily.
Man, look at the stuns from HR. The splitter looks good onto the stomp. A lot of damage there, as no fear. Let's get focused down by the TA. DK Focus, stunned up by the Sven. Light Striker right there to connect as well with the Hand of God with a heal from the mech. They're keeping him alive, but not for long enough. Nyx is dropping low, but he's healing with that Satanic. But the TA shreds through the Sven at long last. The jump forward. Kasani being hounded by Rebel, but they have to switch targets. Funk has a lot of escape mechanisms. Ghost Scepter, Blink, Yules, Illusions coming out of his bottle as well. But a Snowball is going to be able to track back and chase him down with a punch down. The reveal they've got on the high ground. They have the sentry up there, and they see him moving. He's got a Yules into Blink, not quite ready. A second away with that cooldown for escape. And it looks like Winstrike coming out on top with that base defense, basically.
Remember, Gary, this was a fight without Faceless Void, and it's still Elder Titan into 4 melee heroes. So opportunity for Winstrike to come back into this game is pretty high, where they can land a good Chronos hero against 4 melee heroes and land a good ET stomp.
Radiant's top tower.
2,000 net worth swing, and it's going to be more with the towers and objectives that they're able to take off the back of it.
Dire's Snow fortified their structures.
And BKB is coming slowly but surely for the Void. And it should be a nice signal there for them to actually play more aggressively and get this combination of heroes into action.
Templar Assassin got so much out of that fight. Like full MKB, will pick up a region now and is sitting on 3,000 gold. She might consider getting a nullifier at this point. The spell, the Warcry, there's 2 Ghost Scepters and 2 Yule Scepters on the team.
Yeah, both Lina and Sanking proving to be difficult targets to actually latch onto and finish off.
Oh, she just bought something. It's a full pike.
There it is, goes back for it after the BKB. Smoke time for Hellraisers. Still feeling like they're the dominant squad and want to get full control back of this game, as Roshan fast spawn is now, but we'll see the full respawn timer is 2.5 minutes. Plenty of time here to keep on farming.
Stains.
Winstrike don't really want to play with Hellraisers right now, though. They're pretty happy sitting back on their laurels, waiting for it.
They were waiting on the high ground. Kalis with the sentry and Obs steals the Hawk. He's extremely farmed in this position 5 Chen. Solar Crest, Mech. It's a lot of armor. Like, you need just raw armor against this Sven. He's a monster right now. 25... 50 extra percent on God's strength damage, full satanic resistance. Of course, he has Titan Sliver.
Of course he does. Wouldn't be a Sven without it.
It's just how Dota works. If you're buying one item that gives you status resistance, the game will give you 3-1.
Yeah, just take the Titan Sliver. And now we're down to 1.5 minutes for Roshan. But you can see the positioning from Hellraisers back into the Radiant Triangle, making sure there's no easy angle of attack for Winstrike to get across there. And Faceless Void, still a couple of hundred from the BKB, needs more time. And he's been given time by Ice Frog. He's been blessed by Gaben.
He's the one who's controlling the time, so he can buy time for himself. If he sells a raid band, he should have enough to buy a full BKB.
Dire's top tower?
Now it's going to be a big fight swing up, but equally so, the Daedalus completed on Sven. Damage amplified up with the crits.
No, just don't get hit by Sven in a team fight and you're good.
Jeez. The speed at which he cleared through that creep camp. Echo save a slap down. Well, Phonic's job right now, it looks like, to scout out Roshan and to peek his head into the pit. Might want to keep a courier in there because 20 seconds and the big man will come back into his cave. Winstrike know how vital this next Roshan is. All smoke, they're looking for the initiation. They find Phonic, Sandcat, the big team fight hero. Perfect perfect initiation. Yules up onto the Faceless Void, but he's got his BKB, so he turns around to fight. Send damage. Holy shit, Nyx nearly kills him off, but they clear him up. No fear. Oh, he's already used his roar, but it's nice talking the back as they do clear up Nyx as that Earthspinner lands and the Chaos Eater is hitting them all. Nice Stalker runs away. Laguna Blade is going to be able to help us finish down the TA. And Nice Stalker needs to get on the high ground. She's up there, but dies. The fighter from Bonic, it arrives. Finally, the team fight hero that Hellraisers needed comes back into the fight. 4 heroes in a row, and the 5th one's about to fall as DK Fogus will complete that team wipe as Hellraisers control up that Roshan spot, and they could potentially take it. Trouble is, Sven's dead for 70.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they have enough. Yeah, I mean, Beastmaster's coming with the blast and the aura, so there should be enough damage. If Phonic does not have a buyback there, they leave with the 2 or 3 last heroes being killed on Winstrike. But Faceless Void did a good job, you know, just sitting there holding a Chrono Trigger for such a long time, putting it on Sven so the rest of the team can actually hit them. Even though it's an 8k gold lead for Hellraisers, I still think that if Winstrike plays this correctly, that they can be victorious at the end of the day.
Nocturnality.
I was wondering for a second there if they were going to try and wait 30 seconds for the Sven to respawn. They left everything on the floor, but it looks like Night Stalker will take the Aegis and maybe hand over the cheese in a couple of seconds.
So TA is going for that nullifier. That, like, where do you put nullifier? And you can get rid of the boots. Maybe ET gives you that spider legs. That's one play. One reason why I didn't like that he finishes the fight is because you're running out of slots, right?
Where did
Yeah, having 2 maneuverability items in Blink and Pike
top tower is under attack.
is a little bit redundant.
Has fallen.
And then your scaling starts to become a little bit limited by it as well. Whereas Sven, you know, he can still get rid of Aghanim Scepter with that Blessing, has another item slot to go. 26,000 net worth up on the big boy. As Hellraisers once more gathering up. But Winstrike are ready for them this time on the high ground, in their triangle, waiting. Or a double damage rune bot. I don't think the courier saw that rune. It could have been a great one here for HR to have. Up to 17,000 net worth lead now, has spiraled out of control in the last couple of minutes. And Night Stalker will be able to find the Tusk. Nullified, stunned,
Mega kill.
and annihilated.
Eliminated.
And a gank squad of Phonic and Kasani.
Missiles shall I waste.
More fuel for my fire.
There's no item progression. ET buying that meteor hammer, then getting eggs. Let's say if he had Heaven's Halberd instead of that
Dire's
meteor
top
hammer,
tower is
invest a
under
bit of more
attack.
gold. I think he would have had one more item, and that's AC. This is the item that they need. Get some extra armor on everyone, get more attack speed on your cores.
Man, Lil with the ballsy play there. Phonic, he's found Aggressive Child, blinks into the trees, Yules of the BKBs required, and he pops the Chrono, fixes fight, and battles into Lina. She's going to be able to go Scepter away, and well, Laguna Blade there, taking the Faceless Void down low. He's going to time walk back to try and escape, but with Night Stalker on his case, the Faceless Void dead for a minute and a half.
With no buyback, so this is the time that Hellraisers just wants to push in. And Faceless Void's making a lot of weird decision-making in this one. Lina doesn't even go for Aghanim Scepter, because she killed the 3rd Roche, got the Aghanim's Blessing for herself. Instead, she's gonna have that Refresher Orb, like 2 ultis. What is the damage? 999 when you click Alt on Laguna Blade. So 2,000 pure damage on one hero. Sounds good.
999.00. Glyph with the repair kit, trying to keep this base alive, but Sven has already popped his God Strength, and they are whacking away at these buildings. Melee racks down, and a full lane obliterated by Hellraisers, now shifting into mid, as we have to wait 25 seconds for Faceless Void to respawn.
And then we have to wait another 60 seconds because we use the Chronos here on the bottom lane.
You're absolutely right, so it's going to be 2 lanes of barracks just crumbling here as Hellraisers dominated
Radiant's middle barracks.
in the last 10-15 minutes or so, and really utilizing this Aegis timer. As Winstrike with no answers to all these questions being asked by that frontlining Sven. We can still see them maybe win a couple of team fights off the back of these Chronos and Earth Splitters, but it is a really tall order. Oh, and a Minotaur horn now picked up by Lena. Who's she going to give it to? Give it to Sand King. He's holding a magic lamp.
Night Stalker doesn't have a good item. He's holding on to Greater Fairy Fire. I think you give it to him so he has a BKB, even though he's holding on to Aegis. Spell Prism is on Sven. What's the cooldown on Stormhammer? 5.6 seconds.
Not bad, not bad. Winstrike smoke, but they've been jumped. Ducalis has been left alone. He's trying to heal himself up and walk away from Night Stalker. In the back, we've got First Strike catching out Yamich, but Little is in the midst of it all, and he's blown up. The BKB from the Void allows him to turn and fight the Night Stalker, but a roar there on the TA, shredded by the Sven. Night Stalker clears him up, and a double kill for Kasani, as we've got 100 seconds with TA gone with no buyback, and Sven is in the middle of the base. Winstrike again, really getting up at the base of Winstrike, and this is going to be game. The buybacks are flowing through thick and fast from Winstrike, but the Sven is unstoppable. A triple for the Night Stalker, and GG is called. Game 2, all done and dusted, as we see Hellraisers executing beautifully.
Yeah, I think this game shows how you can lose a game with going for bad items. Like Elder Titan, getting a Meteor Hammer instead of buying something like a Drum into Aghanim Scepter, possibly Heaven's Halberd. TA going for a Pike, not having a BKB. They chose to take a fight while TA was 100 gold away from a BKB. And yeah. Princess Void had some also questionable